Deathmatch to see how's my movement comparing to, but then still there's always the verification during the match. Simply I'm just going for the headshots here and trying to make little bursts, because you know, if I make taps it doesn't make much sense because I'm not tapping anyway, only in very specific situations. So I just prefer to go for a little spray in the head, little bursts, 3 to 5 bullets max, trying to get as close to 1 or 2. Of course, that's the end goal, but in general, if I miss the first one, I can always, you know, count on a second bullet to hit the head. And just abusing the movements, A and D, make a little crouchy there, just to make myself a little bit unpredictable for the opponents. Of course these are just bots, but it is good to develop good habits during the game, during the warm-ups, and then exercise them during the match, so you know, you put those things from practice to a good match. And it's just to remind myself as well to manipulate with the movement, because I get a little bit too stale sometimes. I just forget to do these crouch peeks or help myself when spraying with crouching. That also helps. Really trying to get a good warm-up, to use the full range, the full spectrum. Then what we can do as well is that we have the USB. We can just tap some heads, see how the movement is getting a little bit more smoother. I stop missing the shots. Just after a couple of minutes, a couple of spray downs, I generally feel better with my mouse pad. And that's the thing that you should actually do almost every day to keep yourself consistent. Really trying to abuse all the movements that you have in CS, add a little bit of aim and the warm-up, and then, you know, all the tactics, all the smokes. That's the end goal, right? But for sure, the first thing that you need is to be as smooth with your movement, as smooth with your aim as well. Make sure that you are well warmed up, then see how you're doing, how is your energy feeling today, and then jump into the deathmatch and see. Whew. And then you will have little hiccups like these when you just spray all over the guy's body and you don't hit. It's just good to readjust, calm yourself down. This map is good, but what it lacks actually is a little bit of elevation. Well, there is a mode for that, right? Right here, like uneven ground, but still, I don't think it makes much sense. Of course, it's pretty good, but sometimes you just have to peek stairs or peek like really far down or really far up high. And then, as you can see, I think my movement is pretty good right now. I don't need much to kill the bot. You can also abuse the terrain see how the bots are lining up for you, so you can practice little spray downs. Sometimes during the match you will also experience these situations, and you really need to be prepared for those, right? It doesn't make much sense to just go for one taps, although I really like it and it's pretty satisfying, but it's not practical during a match, right? Unless you really want to go for these taps to be as precise as possible, and that's your playstyle, that's okay. If you feel like this is something that you really like, okay. Just make sure that you also have the plan B, which is to basically spray the guy. And make sure you don't whiff your spray, because you're only focused on practicing headshots, right? So you need to remember the pattern of the bullets. And that's how it goes, right? You can also work your movement. What also helps is, well, we have the uneven ground, which can be even better, right? Just walk around the bot. You can go to another one if you feel like it's pretty good. And then just, yeah, continue doing that for a moment. You can feel the mousepad, the length of the mousepad, the grip of the mouse in your hand. It really helps you to understand intuitively how your mouse, how your grip is doing when it comes to this specific position that you have on your desk, at your desk I should say, probably. Because you are not always sitting the same, yeah, right? So sometimes you pull your leg up on the chair, or you sit like very still, or sometimes you are just a bit leaned towards the monitor, towards the desk. So you also need to feel how you are feeling the mouse, feeling the game, how it compares to your brain. What's your general idea for today? What is your mood? Are you feeling aggressive? Are you feeling a bit passive? What is your game plan as well, right? If you're passive, well, you can just do these and try to build your way up so you can be more balanced, right? You're not too still, you're not too stiff in the chair, with your hand as well. Then what you can also do is to make these little spray downs. So I just go for one to another. I try to be also precise here, trying to line up the headshot, because usually you're aiming at the headshot, of course, if you know how to play the game, and then you readjust and try to do the same with another bot. It is also very situational, and it's a rare occasion in which you'll hit a spray down like this, but if you don't practice, you'll generally feel like, well, maybe there's something that you could have just learned, right? When somebody's jumping on you and then there's another guy peeking and you manage to get the first guy, but just by a little bit you miss the second guy because you didn't practice your spray down, right? You need to also manipulate the body during the spray. It's not like you're just gonna sit there like a duck and just duck like this. What usually helps is to lean towards one side or to the other to make yourself a little bit untouchable, let's say. It's gonna be a nice one. Right, so you just do this, and then after a certain threshold, what I usually do is 1000 bots, but if you feel like you want to extend your warm-up and you feel like you're having fun, you can also do a bit more, but usually 1000 bots per day is the general threshold. Of course, if you want to feel even better, you can pick up the M4, and what you can do is to make these very precise kills, just headshots. Just put like a few bullets into this one. Trying to aim for the precision, not really for speed. And if you feel warmed up, it will generally feel better. You'll feel like you are hitting these heads. If you do that in the beginning of your warm-up, then it may actually result in your lack of precision, and you might get a little bit annoyed by that fact. Therefore, you might not enjoy the training as much. So being prepared, warmed up, and then aiming for the precise shots will actually help you in your game to stay calm and to go for these precise shots, rather than just spraying and praying that you hit the guy. Of course, not every situation is the same in Counter-Strike. You'll get the close angles, the fast guy moving with MP9, with P90, whatever. With the shotguns as well, you can also feel a little bit annoyed by that. But if you practice your precision, if the guy peeks you, you have a better chance of just clicking him in the head. And you don't really need to readjust too much, because you are already warmed up. Okay? Alright, so we will hit 1300 bots, and then we are going to jump into the deathmatch.